Marketing is a great major to study at UWA, and I'm going to tell you why. My name is Paul Harrigan. I'm an associate professor in the business school, and I'm also currently acting head of the marketing department. So I'm pretty well placed to talk to you about marketing and why you should study it and what it can do for you. So you can see our hashtag UWAMKTG, and we use that when we talk about what we do on social media, so you can check that out. And we use that because we have a key value proposition here at UWA. We are different from the other universities that teach marketing, and I'll try and explain to you how. First of all, though, you might not be clear on what marketing is. We think it has a central role in understanding what people, whether that's consumers or individuals or societies, want across the globe, so across cultures, in an ever-changing and a dynamic world. So really it sits in this sweet spot between what an organization wants, as in it wants to sell a product or service or provide information, if it's a government or whatever, and what a consumer wants. So the consumer wants to buy something, and the reason he or she wants to do that is he or she wants to get value. They want to solve a problem. So there's two sets of needs there, and marketing has to match those needs for mutual benefit. Coming back to UWA, their motto is to seek wisdom, and that's what we as a team of researchers in the marketing department try to do. So we are a team, and we focus on key research problems across the marketing discipline. It's a very broad discipline. I'll talk to you about its different areas in a second. And we try to do that to solve problems, and that's problems in the local WA community, of which UWA is a key part, but also globally. Our team is international, and most of the problems we look at are international problems. Some of the key words that are part of our value proposition are on the screen now. So evidence. Evidence is key to every decision that a manager, particularly in marketing, makes. So we teach that. Base decisions on data. So gather evidence, do research. So if I'm going to post a campaign, an ad on social media, what analysis have I done of my previous campaigns to think, well, something as simple as what time should I post? What type of content? What channel? Evidence-based decision making is something that's really crucial. Innovation is something that we're also strong on. So we teach in a range of areas, and that's because we research in a range of areas. I personally research in social media marketing. Other people research in entrepreneurship. Other people in marketing ethics. And we're constantly keeping an eye on the latest trends in these areas, but not just going with them, actually gathering evidence to see what works and what does not work. That links into our next key focus, which is Blue Sky. UWA is known for innovation over the years. It's a very old university, but to succeed over all those years and to keep succeeding has to be open to new opportunities. So we're constantly keeping an eye out, and that's what the role of marketing is, looking into the environment and seeing what new opportunities there are for growth. That's Blue Sky thinking. And being creative is part of that. So, okay, there's new opportunities. Search engines are really dominant. TikTok is really dominant. How can we be creative, do research around those, and then build that into our curriculum that we offer to you? And that leads into our final point, which is linked to the first point, analysis. We are all skilled at being analytical. So gathering vast amounts of data, but drawing insights from them to say, hey, tell you what, this data, we can take away these key points, this is what we're supposed to do. So being analytical is something we can really teach you. And the reason that we have this positioning is that we're very strong to industry and we know what they want. So we have an industry advisory group that's specific to our marketing department, and it has some of the top agencies and organisations in Perth. So in alphabetical order, Firefly 360 is a digital marketing agency in Subi. We have Meerkats, Metrics Consulting, Painted Dog Research. So the latter two are marketing research focused. Perth Zoo speaks for itself, lots of good marketing content there. Brand agency. And finally the Water Corp. If you look at some of the marketing campaigns the Water Corp have run, they're pretty innovative. So we bring these people together and they really help to shape our curriculum. So we get feedback, should we be teaching this or this? What do graduates need to come out of uni with, they can tell us. So we bring these guys in, you can meet them, you can have guest lectures and things like that. So we're very connected with industry. And I guess you want to know what we actually teach and what it will look like if you study marketing at UWA, and it's quite straightforward, a nice pathway. In the first year of the Bachelor of Commerce, you will have to do Introduction to Marketing, no matter what you're majoring in. And you'll also have to do some accounting, a couple of economics units and a management unit. If you're already majoring in marketing, you'll have to do consumer behaviour. So that teaches you about what people want and why. So it's a bit psychological because we're all complex beings. The Introduction to Marketing unit, so we call each of these a unit, gives you an overview of all the rest of the marketing topics that you'll cover later in the major. So after your first year, the end of which you have to decide which major you're going to do, you'll have to go in and do marketing research. Everyone does that. So we have a strong cohort, maybe 250, 300 people studying marketing. They go into this unit. It links back to these points in our value proposition of it being evidence-based and analytical. So that's what we teach there. And you can choose to focus on the creative side of being advertising and promotion, or you can focus on small businesses. So 99% of all businesses are small. They're not these major global brands. So it's really important to know how marketing looks and operates in a small business. Going into your final year, so level 3, this is where you can really choose to specialize. So you'll all have to do a capstone unit, which is called strategic marketing. So it really gives a high level overview of what marketing looks like in an organization, the strategic decisions that have to be made, right up at boardroom level. Then you've got different options. I'll just name a few. So marketing applications, which is a focus on sales. And I mentioned innovation, so we're constantly changing our curriculum. And that name will actually change to sales pretty soon. We teach you about new product development. We teach you digital marketing. We teach you services marketing. Services is about the experience of the customer, user design, user experience, these types of things. Consumers around the world teaches you how, there's different cultures, how do we market across them? And I'll pick out a few of these now. So NPD, which is new product development, you can Google these pretty easily, put the code in, and then UWA, it will come up. This is taught by my colleague Mila, so it's about how changes in technology, amongst other changes in the environment, allow companies the opportunity to innovate. You constantly need to innovate to survive, so introduce new products, new services, change ways of doing things. This is a really cool unit that explains how some companies stay ahead and some companies fall behind. Digital marketing, this is a unit I set up, so this teaches you mostly around what we call content marketing. So what kind of content gets posted or should be posted on social media. We also teach you a bit about search engine marketing, and also then the back end of that is the data that you get and the analysis you need to perform to see what works and what doesn't work. So that evidence-based decision making. Another example of one of our level 3 units is consumers around the world. So this is about culture. It's learned and then forgotten. However, it's fundamental and enduring influence on behavior. Okay, so we are not just shaped by marketing campaigns. We're shaped by our cultures, and brands need to understand that. Most questions that I get at open days, this is one way, so you can't really ask questions, but you can look me up online, reach out, whether it's social media or email or whatever, is what jobs can I get? Okay, so this is from a website called HubSpot, and they are a really big global marketing organization that I use a lot for my material to teach. So these are some of the top marketing job titles at the minute. Content creator. So you create content that goes on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, or on a blog or on a podcast. So that's creating content. Content strategist is what's the thread that runs through all these different types of content? What story are we trying to tell? I'll jump down to marketing data analyst. When we post that content, who likes it, who shares it, how's it performing, how can we analyze this data? Do I want to analyze all the posts on a certain hashtag, I can scrape that data from social media. It can be quite complex if it's a very popular hashtag. Search for trends. Further down, community manager. I'm sure you've all been in or maybe even been a member of an online brand community. Brands manage those communities. Even if they don't own the communities, they will have marketing people operating in them, managed by a community manager. Finally, SEO, search engine optimization, is massive. How do we get first on Google, or at least on the first page? So you have specialists, strategists, managers. So you can see you're not just going to end up being a marketing manager. That's just the top 15 titles from this year. If you're still not convinced about jobs, this is just a search I did in July this year on Seek. So I just typed in marketing. And then within marketing, you see some of these different subsections like brand management, digital, CRM, which is customer relationship management, marketing research. And you see the different numbers in each. Gives you an idea of where things are going. So digital is kind of top. But there are 1,400 jobs across Australia at the minute in marketing and communications. So marketing manager in healthcare, marketing specialist, Motoractive, so one in Melbourne, one in Sydney. You want to move to Tasmania and try and sell tourism, you can do that too. So there's lots of options. So take a look for yourself and see some of these titles, some of these areas of focus. But the most important thing when you're at uni is to do what you're good at and what you like. Okay, because that's the most important thing so that you can enjoy it, do well, and then consider your career options in your final year. We'll give you all the support that's needed to help. If you want to check out some more about the marketing department at UWA, you can watch a video that we have on YouTube, which I'll just show you now. So if you search for marketing UWA, you can watch a bit of this. Marketing's probably the fastest growth. You can see that guy. You can also check out our website, which is here. So creating the future innovators in customer communication. You can see, focus on digital here. Bit of a welcome from me, about our research projects, and then the details around our courses if you want some more detail than I covered in this presentation. So thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, please follow up.